How come you're not guarding the garden? Seriously? You're napping on the job? Sheds, you're napping on the job, man. Come on. What's the big idea? Is it just too difficult for you? Guard the garden from the rabbits. And you just gotta go take a nap on the job? That's ridiculous. Give me a break. So the dogs just didn't cut it on guarding the garden. So right after giving the dogs the boot on security on the garden, I had to put up a couple pallets. The pallets aren't really doing the garden justice. So we're gonna have to get rid of the pallets. Make something that looks really pretty that goes in there. Building that gate, let's get to it. I'm setting up down here in the shade next to the river because it's about 90 degrees today. And we're gonna get a quick little double door garden gate built. I'm gonna show you how to do it real simple. You're gonna have one side that opens that you can go in and out of easily, but you can open them both to get a wheelbarrow in or you know, if you need to get some big soil in or whatever. So let's get to it. Drew this little thing up, so I'm thinking like, okay, this is the frame with some 2x4s. We'll stain it up. We'll put some nice wire, some black wire over that, and then we'll overlay it with some cool rough sawn log type stuff. I think it's a pretty sweet idea. I don't know how tough it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be fairly easy, but then nothing ever is. So should be a fun project. Let's see how this goes. It usually turns out great. As you can see, I've got the table saw set up down here next to the riv. Whole different climate down here. Out there it's about 90. Down here it's feeling like about 75 with a little bit of river breeze. So here's what we got going on. I'm building two 2x4 frames. They're roughly about 3 feet wide by 4 feet tall, and went ahead and put a center span in there for support, keep it square. And we're gonna build 2 of these guys and then slap some black wire fence on it after I think we're gonna stain it dark just to make it disappear. And then we're gonna overlay it with some skins from cutting some big logs, like the scraps, just the edges, just to give it kind of a cool woodsy look. So the angle's kind of funny, so I just put a piece of board on top and trace my lines. There we have it, folks. There's the bare frames of the fence door. Real basic. We're gonna take some stain them dark so they kind of disappear. We want the emphasis to be on the live edge slab pieces that we put over on the top of the black fence. So we're getting there. We're gonna go find some, come on pal. So we're gonna go find some cool looking boards to put over that little gate. Head over here to the old wood scrap pile. Ooh, I'm seeing some good stuff already. Look at that bad boy. That guy, we could turn that into something. It's looking sharp. What do you think, Coda? So we got the fence pieces all stained up. Kind of went with a dark color just so that it's hidden. We're planning on facing them with some cool looking log pieces. So right over here we got just an old roll of black cattle fence, deer fence, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna cut some squares out of that so we can staple them on those pieces. Okay, so we got the metal fence on there, stapled it on. Now we're just tinkering around with some of these wood pieces on top just to make it look decorative. Got one down. One down, one to go. So what I did there is, you can see the back 2x4 framing, we just hit it with a little bit of dark stain. I used some cut-offs off some log benches I made for the top. So you got that round effect that'll match the whole enclosure of the garden. The bottom's just another big old rip off of cutting logs with my chainsaw, my little Alaskan sawmill. And then I found a couple 1x6 cedar boards pre-stained that I bought at Home Depot a long time ago, and just stapled those on the vertical facing of that so it just hides that fencing. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. I got one more to go. I got this old little staple gun, oh man, at a yard sale, and no joke, the thing, I get in like 2 shots and then something malfunctions. 2 more shots and then something malfunctions. So I'm gritting my teeth trying to get through this. I got just a handful of staples to put in that sucker and I'm about ready to chuck it in the river. Baby, cooking with grease on this second one. I was gonna give up after that metal, but I'm like, only a couple more steps to go, let's get it done. Okay, so things got a little more difficult when I couldn't find a ripped little log the same size. So I had to get the old chainsaw out and try to gauge it about the same. So an easy project went to just a little bit tougher, but we're getting her done. Those little cedar boards, real cheap, just cutting them to fit, shooting them in with some staples. Okay guys, so we got that door slammed out. The only thing that we're missing is some hinges, so we went and picked up some quick hinges, and need to line up the door, put the hinges on. Probably need to figure out a sweet handle, big old burly handle that'll go on this thing. Maybe an elk antler or just a big old wrought iron thing. That'd be kind of cool, huh? Well, let's dig up some of this hardware and get this door on, see what she looks like. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mount all the hinges on the gate doors. I'm gonna brace the backside with a couple 2x4s to keep everything super in line, and then we're gonna hang it all as one unit, since we're mounting them to not a door jamb but rustic logs. So we got to make it fit. It's got to swing decent. This is about the best idea I've come up with so far, to hang double doors in between 2 logs. Let's see how it goes. Hanging these hinges on these things, I mean, nothing's straight. I'm using rustic logs, so I'm busting out the old little square, make sure that my hinges that are super burly cool looking are gonna look straight and perpendicular on both sides. Make sure everything looks legit. All right, so it got way too hot. We're having a little water break until we continue. So another cool thing to do with screws, no matter what you're working on, to make it the same color of whatever you're screwing it into, spray paint them. Spray paint the tops with a good spray paint, and it'll look a lot sharper when you're done. Good day on the homestead when something comes together and it's looking that good. Rocky's getting dive bombed by the swallows. You don't even care. You gonna get them swallows dive bombing your head, Rock? Wifey Poo got these rustic looking wrought iron style handles that'll go really good. Oh my gosh, what did I buy? I thought it was a simple latch system. There's like some serious stuff going on here. 7/16. Finn, can you go get me a 7/16 drill bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking pretty good. I got this on. It took a lot of attention, so I had to put the camera down. But we're looking pretty good. This system's a little bit more complicated. It takes a lot more measurements and layout and all that. But check it out. On the back side, you can actually open it up and close it from the inside. So that's really cool. Super smooth. It matches the hammered hinges that we got. We're still waiting on our ground rod. That'll hold this guy in steady. And then this guy will be free flow over here. But right now, as you can see, it rocks at both. So when you need to get something bigger through here, like a wheelbarrow or something big, you'll be able to undo that rod on this side and open up double door action. It's looking pretty cool. We're almost there. We're almost done with this project. Okay, so we got a hole dug. Some of this hardware that we're using that we're gonna put in right there on the corner. Check out this new kneeler pad I got. This thing's thick, just super thick. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice when you don't have to put on some knee pads and get sweaty knees. Well, there we go. We got all that installed. Now we just got to put in the little ground rod holder and fill it in with dirt. Let her harden up, and we'll have this door stationary. The wife found this little PVC pipe. She's got it all painted up for me, a little broken off top. It slides in there perfect. Here we go. We got that little piece of PVC in there. We'll wedge the door right where we like it and bury it in so it stays right where we want it. Well, come to find out, I forgot those screws on the inside. I was wondering why it was like kind of acting a little tight in there. I'm like, yeah, those screws definitely made it feel a lot more solid. Gonna finish packing this in with a little bit of dirt. I threw some rocks down there to help hold the rod in place while it sets up over a little bit of time. Isn't that sweet? Got a little latch to go out from the inside. This one that she ordered looks like it was pretty heavy duty. Definitely strong, big. Probably more than we need. It's always good to be strong and big. Throwing a little stain on there to protect it from the sun and kind of tie it in with those logs that I've already got built into the garden. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like making a million trips getting different tools that I might need, so I get the old wheelbarrow out, fill her up, and go for it. I still made extra trips. And as promised, a cool looking garden gate. So we set off with an issue in the garden where rabbits were coming in, where the chickens were coming in. We couldn't keep the deer out, so we had to build a gate. But on a cool looking garden like this, we had to make a cool looking gate, right? We went ahead and got some really cool rustic hardware that looks super cool with these logs, just kind of mid-century looking. And on the inside, we've got that little handle that we can shut it and close it from the inside. We've got this ground rod right here. If we need to open it up double gate style and bring in a big old wheelbarrow full of goodies for the garden. There you go, got a little hole right there. Inside view, kapow. Outside view. Pretty excited how this turned out. Turned out a little cooler than I was expecting, so that's always a bonus. And it just makes for another neat, custom, loggy, irony looking project. Definitely a cool finishing touch on this garden. Well, I'm gonna wipe my hands from this project and head on to the other project that I'm doing. You don't wanna miss this one coming up. We'll catch you guys on the next one.